Since I haven't made many videos in a while, I've thought of a way to release videos throughout the Halloween season. Every Friday in October, I'll be releasing a movie review of a classic horror film, and give my thoughts and opinions. Keep in mind as well, I'll also be giving away the endings to these films. With that being said, let's begin. The Texas Chainsaw Massacre is not only a scary film, but a very dark and disturbing one. The movie is about a group of friends who are visiting an old abandoned house left by one of the characters' grandfather. The characters are all basic horror movie characters. While we spend the first 25 minutes with them, there really isn't much of them. You know they're just characters Leatherface is gonna kill off. If anything, the two characters that have the most screen time are a girl named Sally, played by Marilyn Burns, and a handicapped guy named Franklin, who's played by Paul A. Parton.
Come on, Franklin! It's gonna be a fun trip!
During the first half of the movie, it plays out like an average horror film. The man in a mask kills off a character one by one. We've seen it 100 times. I admit, it's scary, but it's the second half of the movie that separates this from other horror films. Earlier in the film, the group encounters two characters that are revealed to be villains later. The first is a man that they meet at a gas stop where he offers them barbecue.
Look, I got some good barbecue here. Why don't you fellas stick around here a while?
Then later we discover that it's something even worse. The other character that the group meets is a hitchhiker, and in my opinion, this is one of the film's creepiest moments.
Oh, that gun's no good.
I was in there once with my uncle.
No way. With a sledge.
I think we just picked up Dracula.
He looks nothing like Dracula. This dude's only here for a couple of minutes, but in one scene, he manages to talk about slaughterhouses, cuts his hand with a knife, takes a picture of one of the friends, burns the picture, and then tries to cut him before they kick him out. The killer that everyone remembers, Leatherface, is a disturbing maniac, and he's pretty responsible for every death in the film. Growing up in Texas, I'd hear a lot of other kids say that Leatherface was real because this movie was said to have been based on true events. In fact, the opening even supports this fact.
The film which you are about to see is an account of the tragedy which befell a group of 5 youths.
However, the story and character were based on real-life murderer Ed Gein. Actually, the more that you think about it, this seems like a realistic horror situation. While it may be hard to believe a killer doll or a person who can kill you in your sleep, there's nothing more real and scary than a bunch of maniacs. Even the way the movie looks appears like something that you'd see from an old documentary. The final scene is without a doubt the most disturbing scene in the film. The only surviving member of the group is tied up and is forced to join the psychotic family for a meal. Apparently this scene was filmed for countless hours in the summer heat that was over 100 degrees, and on top of that, there was rotting food and dead animals scattered in the room. Seriously, everything about this scene is disturbing.
You like this, Dave?
Finally, Sally manages to escape from the house, where she is chased by Leatherface and the hitchhiker. Luckily, she escapes, and that's where the film ends. This film disturbed many audiences at the time of its release. It was banned in many nations, and I can see why. This film was directed by Tobe Hooper, who also directed Poltergeist and the Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. Even with the many other sequels and remakes that this series has had, not one has managed to match the terror of the original.